Divine Essence, I ask that you lead me from the unreal to the real, to be my guiding light through mist and shadow, so that the scales may fall from my eyes and that I may perceive more of the truth that is the essence. All right, so I want to talk about what I've seen over the last, I guess, 2 weeks, which has been wonderful and which has been beautiful. Because what we've seen is we've seen a normal narrative, and now we're seeing an abnormal narrative, but one that can change and unite a large amount of people. So I am very happy to see my white brothers and sisters that have witnessed injustice but did not have the motivation to speak out against it, now taking a stand on such a massive level. I know that these recent activities are a mix between those who want to see true equality and social change and justice for people that have been minimalized, abused, misused historically, and then you have agitators in some of these protests. But I mean, it's really a beautiful thing to see people acting like people, acting as if though they see an injustice and they want to see a stop to injustice. And so that's wonderful, because that pushes the conversation forward. Because it's, as brothers and sisters that walk this spiritual path, there are certain concepts which are edifying at a certain point, but are only true up to a certain point, whose truth value loses value the higher we go. The ultimate truth is we are all sons and daughters of the Most High, of the Divine Essence. We come from the universe. We are all light beings. We are all beings of light, transmuted. We are nothing but transmuted sunlight as far as our energetic energy is concerned. We are consciousness, will, energy, matter. Our consciousness and our will is the eternal essence part of our character, our perception of the reality that we live in. The energy matter part of our character comes from, on this plane of existence, in this realm of time, it comes from the sun. We're nothing but transmuted light. Our energy that we receive, the food that we eat, is transformed sunlight. Plants are able to take the energy from the sun and put it in a usable substance, if you're a meat eater, for animals, so that you can consume the energy that the animals have consumed so that it can feed you. We get minerals and vitamins from the sun, from transmuted light. And ultimately that energy, those materials, are used to build our bodies. And our bodies are light bodies, light that is vibrating on a denser level. So ultimately, when it comes down to it, you just have brothers and sisters that are walking this planet that are light beings at different degrees and levels of light absorption, light consumption, and conscious understanding. And so, but that's at a different understanding. At a more crass and base level, you have blacks, you have whites, you have Asians, you have Latinos, you have quadroons, you have octoroons, you have all of these mixtures and all of these things. And then people identify with these physical attributes because it's easier. And then at a certain level, there is a degree of understanding there. You come from a clan, you come from a tribe, you have cultural, historical, genetic issues to work through. You may be reincarnated in this line because you have lessons to be learned along this way. But ultimately, the truth of the matter is we are divine beings. We are light beings. We are conscious entities having a physical experience so that we may grow and evolve our understanding of our connection with the oneness and bring that understanding through to the physical environment. Now, taking that to the protests. So as a spiritual being, it's you see the injustice. I remember speaking with my brother and his frustration because we consistently see a group of people who abuse their power on people. Specifically, I'm speaking on police brutality and the taking of African lives, and then nothing being done about it. The expression of discontent with it, the march, the release of the emotions, and then nothing happening from it. And then we've had, more and more people participate in that, in trying to see justice, but then it just kind of like fizzles away. But what we have now is we have a large number of people, of the majority, saying enough is enough. And that's beautiful to see. Some of it is acting, some of it is, moments in time, so I don't know how much faith put into all of these kneeling officers and things of that nature. Photo ops thing, like I can't really speak to that. But with the firing of police officers, with police officers who have disagreed with what has been going on but have remained silent, speaking out against it now, with all of these actions taking place. These are movements that need to happen so that we can have a more fair and just society, so that people who have the power of life and death in an instant are held accountable. That is very important, because has a being traveling as an African body with African experiences behind me, there is a level and degree of discomfort as I travel and drive across country. I am hyper aware that I need to be smart. I need to adhere to divine principles to remain safe. Sundown towns, those were real back in the day. The sundown town is a town where towns would be, don't let the sun go down on your black here. That's terrorism. We should be able, as people, to go where we would like to go. As long as we are bringing beauty to the area and we're not causing disruptions, we're not damaging life, we should be able to go without fear. We should be able to go without caution, with caution, but without it, coming from the people in the area. And what we see with this outrage of these people is hopefully a movement in the right direction. What needs to happen is we need to see policy change. The disruptions is good. It needs to happen. But we need to see systemic reform. It would be horrible if this was a time period that we witnessed and then went back to normal. We need to move ourselves forward in this conversation. We need to unite as people, as humans, and see that fairness, justice, and equality should be the basis of our interactions. We need to curb the people that want to perpetuate the narrative that people are beings and African bodies are criminals. That is a false narrative that helps to perpetuate injustice and violence being done to African bodies. That needs to stop. People of African descent are not criminals by nature. People of European descent are not criminals by nature. People of Asian descent are not criminals by nature. By nature, your nature is the divine essence. All of our nature is the divine essence. Can we tap into that? Can we use that? Can we be that? Can we attune our conscious mind to that? That is the question. But things need to happen on a social level, at different levels, before that conversation begins to take place. And so to see such a huge number of people demanding justice in such a way that you have to take notice is a beautiful thing, and we need to support that. And I love the fact that now I can say with certainty that we are all the divine essence. That is beautiful, because the truth of the matter is you are the divine essence. You are a son and daughter of the Most High. Whoever you are, whatever you are part of the universe. And the universe exists in balance, peace, and justice. Oh.